In this video, I'm going to show you the easiest path to get to $10,000 per month, even if you're a complete beginner with zero experience and zero money. If we haven't met, I'm Arturo Johnson, and I run an SMMA for life insurance agents that go from $10K to $100K per month. And currently we're doing about $300,000 per month in that agency, as well as I have a course that shows entrepreneurs the easiest business model to start their own SMMA to become an entrepreneur and go from $0 to $10,000 per month with the coaching program that we've done over $5 million in sales. But I wasn't always there, and I had tried tons of different things, but it wasn't until I stumbled across this secret business model that was beginner friendly. So if you stick around to the end of this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how a beginner can start with little to no experience and little capital and go from $0 to $10,000 per month. So what is an SMMA in the first place? Well, SMMA stands for Social Media Marketing Agency, and this is an agency where you help businesses with their social media, content creation, and lead generation. And the whole premise of this is for you to do ROI services to generate more attention, leads, so that ultimately it can bring more customers and traffic to a business online so that they can make more sales. And typically you're using platforms like Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, and you're using advertising to bring awareness and attention to these businesses. Because what is the one problem that most businesses in the United States have is we need more clients. And so Social Media Marketing Agency is an agency that uses these social mediums, bring attention and drive traffic and leads to help other businesses grow. So one of the first things you want to do as a beginner is you want to have the right mindset. And the mindset that you want to have is a mindset to serve. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to decide that you want to serve and help people. And once you decide that you want to help people, then you realize that there is no perfect way to actually help people. So one of the most important things is actually just getting started. I feel like so many times people are just getting ready to get ready as new beginner entrepreneurs in this space. And the most important thing is just taking action. Along the way, you'll figure out exactly what you need to do. But the most important thing is just actually getting started. Now, once you've actually made up your mind that you are committed to wanting to serve people, the next thing you want to do is you want to pick a niche. And all you're going to do is you're going to select a group of people who have a problem that are willing and able to pay you for that solution. For example, dentists, accountants, real estate agents, chiropractors, or life insurance agents like I help. And again, what is the problem that most of these businesses have? Well, they need more clients. And so what we do is we have an automated and predictable system that we help life insurance agents with lead generation services to help them to have a systemized marketing plan so that they can have a rinse and repeat process to generate appointments and turn a stranger into a paying client in one single 45-minute phone call. And the reason why this is very important is because you want to find a group of people that if they get a client, the value of the client is really high. Then you can trade your services for a percentage of that fee. And this is where you can have that arbitrage. And now, I don't want you to spend too long of a time trying to figure out what your niche is, because honestly, and quite honestly, as a beginner, most entrepreneurs struggle with this part the most. They sit around trying to figure out which niche is going to be the perfect niche, and they never actually get started. And the truth is no niche is perfect. They all have the same problems. They all have pros and cons associated with them. But the thing is you want to pick a niche and you want to start to take action. Now, you aren't married to that niche, but again, like I said, done is better than perfection. And the moment that you start to work with them, the sooner you'll figure out if that niche is perfect for you. For example, when I first got started, I started with chiropractors and I started with dentists. And then ultimately I landed on life insurance agents once I realized that life insurance agents were already spending money on leads and the system wasn't working. So once I realized that they had a problem of acquisition, I sought out to solve that problem with lead generation. Once I solved it, I realized that a client for them was worth about $1,200, and then I could price my services accordingly based off how many clients I thought I could get them per month, which is between 20 to 100 clients. So if I could make you $100,000 in a month, that would definitely be worth about 10%, which is about 10K per month, which is what we charge in our agency for life insurance agents to help them scale to 100K per month. But again, I didn't start with that niche. And as I went along the way, I realized who my people were, who I enjoyed working with, who had fun and who were hardworking. But more importantly, who was willing to put the work in, and it was easiest for them to get the results from my service delivery. And then that's ultimately how I landed with life insurance agents. So in the beginning, again, you don't want to spend too much time dilly-dallying trying to figure out what the perfect niche is and what the offer is. You just want to decide and get started. And along the way, right, you'll figure out the rest. Okay, now this is one of my favorite things is now that you've decided that you want to help people and you selected your niche, the next thing you want to do is we want to craft your offer. Now, your offer isn't your service. Your offer is a package of exactly what problems that you solve that are strategically packaged with an overarching promise that expresses what will get your ideal client the results that they're looking for. For example, your offer should contain the following. It should have a value delivery. It should have guarantees. It should have urgency, it should have scarcity, and ultimately it should have a price that is around $1,500 to what I've seen work as beginners up to about $3,000. And with your offer, when you package these things to solve problems for your ideal client, to get them from their current situation to their desired situation, and this is where you create an irresistible offer that is so good, it makes people feel stupid for saying no. Okay, so now that we have crafted an irresistible offer that we can now take to the marketplace that illustrates our client's clearest desired situation with your product or service, packaged in a specific way that makes it so irresistible that people feel stupid for saying no, now you want to select your platform. And this is a place online where your ideal clients hang out and are easily and readily accessible for you to select. Now, this is probably one of the most important things, so make sure you're paying attention and writing this down. So you can choose Facebook, you can choose LinkedIn, you can choose TikTok or Instagram. And this is where you're going to find huge groups of people. When I got started, the first thing I did was I used LinkedIn. And once I used LinkedIn, when that capped out, that's when I transitioned over to Facebook, ultimately, and started running ads. And then now we're using Instagram to widen our niche to entrepreneurs to help them start one of the easiest, most friendly business models to get to $10,000 per month, which is a social media marketing agency. Okay, so now that we have selected our platform, now it's time for us to start reaching out to our ideal clients and seeing if we can get their attention with our offer to see if they could hop on a call so that we can pitch our services to see if we can help them. And direct outreach is going to be where we're going to be reaching out to our ideal clients through a cold DM, and we're going to be messaging them in a specific and strategic way to position ourselves based off the current situation that they're in and their desired scenario, bridging that gap for them so they can ultimately get more clients and make more money. And so again, you just don't want to send any type of message. You want to make sure that your message has the following. You want to make sure that your message confirms that your ideal prospect has a problem. Next, you want to create a gap from where they are to where they want to be. So the current situation to their desired situation. You want to make sure that you bridge a gap. And then thirdly, you want to request that if this sounds interesting, that you can hop on a quick 15 to 30 minute chat to see if the service that you have is a good fit, and ultimately maybe you can help them to get to their desired goal. Okay, now that we have reached out to prospects and they have agreed to hop on a call with us, now we want to do what we call a strategy session. And this is probably one of the most important skills that you'll have to learn if you want to easily go from 0 to 10K per month. And a lot of people kind of shy away from this because it's sales, and sales has a negative and dirty word dirty stigma associated with it. But again, selling is nothing more than persuasion, right? And what most people do is they associate sales to convincing. Now, convincing is different than persuasion, and in fact, they're quite the opposite. See, convincing is getting someone to do something that's in your best interest against their will, and persuasion is to get somebody to do something that they already desire, but use your vehicle to help them get to their goal faster. And so when you focus on getting really good at persuasion, now you need to just get good at using this exact framework that we use in our business to close $200,000 to $300,000 in sales every single month. And this is the closer framework. And so the first thing you want to do is you want to clarify why they're on the call. So whenever you get on the call with the prospect, the first thing you want to do, right, is you want to check in with them. You want to have a little 30-second rapport. And then the first thing you want to do is you want to clarify what motivated them to hop on the call. So usually in the first 5 minutes of the call, you know exactly everything that you need to know about a prospect so that you can help walk them through a systematic process to take them from a stranger to a paying client in one single 45-minute call. And once you master this, then making sales in your SMMA becomes effortless. And so mastery is to effortlessly execute without the use of conscious resources. And once you do 20 to 100 of these every single month, you will become a master at client acquisition. And this is how you'll be able to scale your business to $10,000, $50,000, even $100,000 per month, like we do in our agency every single month. Now, once you have clarified why they're there, the next thing you want to do is you want to labor their pain, right? So a lot of times sales professionals, they do all the talking and none of the listening. And one of the things that I've learned in communication, right, is that God gave us 2 ears, right, and 1 mouth. And so the only thing you want to do is when they tell you exactly what they have going on in their business, what they're struggling with, what you want to do is you want to reiterate that back to them in a very streamlined, very clear sentence so that the prospect feels like they were heard, and you want to label clearly exactly what they said. Because a lot of times prospects will clarify why they're there and they'll tell you all their problems, but they'll be going around in a circle and kind of brain dumping because this is kind of one of the first times they've been able to express themselves because they've just been holding in so much stress about the problems that are going on in their business, and ultimately, finally, they can confess it to somebody that they think can help them. And so what you want to do after you clarify why they're there is the next thing you want to do is you want to label their pain. Okay, so now that we have labeled their pain, the next thing we want to do is we want to overview their past failures. Now, why is this important? Because we want to see what things they have already tried in the past that have failed. For 2 reasons. 1, we want to see how serious they are about solving this problem. And then we want to see what things that they have tried in the past that compare to your offer so that when you go to the next phase, which is we'll get to in a second, you can now highlight those things when you're in your offer, product, or service to this ideal prospect. So now you want to overview their past failures. You want to see what things they've tried in the past, right? Because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to sell the vacation. And this is where we're going to highlight all of the things that they've told us. And we're going to take all of the things that they've tried and failed, all of the things that they haven't been able to achieve. And we're going to take our offer and we're going to position each one of those as a step to getting to their desired situation. And that's when we're going to sell the vacation. Now, most amateur people, when they get to this process, right, they go into techno babble, which they're talking about all the pieces, the process, and the product. But what you want to do is you want to have a very short and concise, high level, like a 3 pillars that really kind of goes over everything. And then from there, you want to allow the prospect to ask you any specific questions, because once you give them a high level overview, you paint a picture for them, then they'll fill in the gaps with strategic questions. And once they do this, all they're doing is asking you specific questions to ultimately, once they have an understanding, they've exhausted everything, that they've asked all the questions, that now they're ready to buy. Okay, so now that we've sold the vacation, right? Now the next thing we want to do is we want to explain away their concerns, right? So we answer all of their questions. Then the next thing we want to do is we want to handle any objections. And a good framework for this is we want to isolate, we want to tie down, and then we want to explain away any concerns that they have. And when you do this, this makes it really easy for you to move the ball downfield in a systematic way. So if a prospect says that, your service is $10,000, oh man, that's super expensive. What you want to do is you want to agree with them and say, yeah, I understand that, $10,000 is a lot. But other than the price being expensive, is there any other thing that's stopping you from moving forward with this program today? Do you feel like this is exactly what you need and now is the right time for you to take your business from 10K a month to 100 grand per month, right? And once they say this, okay, perfect. So if there isn't any other reason besides the price, if we can figure out some way for you to make this work today, because I never want money to get in the way of you having success. If we could make something work today that was reasonable to fit in your budget, would you be open to having a conversation about finances so that we can see if that would work for you? And so once you do this, now you've gotten all the chips out on the table, and now it's up to you to just close the deal. Okay, so now that you have explained away all of their concerns and you've made the deal work for them and they've taken action, the next thing and the last thing, which is probably the most important, is you want to reinforce their decision, right? And this starts with at the end of the call, after every single call, no matter if it's on Zoom, person, I always just start clapping and I welcome them into the group. Then I tell them what is going to happen next. You're going to get 3 emails. You're going to get a courtesy call. You're going to get put into a Facebook group. You're going to get access to a portal, right? We're going to get you hooked up for the coaching calls every single week. We're going to book you for an onboarding call, right? All the things that are going to happen so that they can get excited about the next steps. And in the end, you're going to ask them, do you feel good about this? Are you excited, right? And you want to reinforce that they made a good decision, because you have to know after any purchase, right? A lot of times people are going to have buyer's remorse and they're going to have fear. So the next 24 to 48 hours after they purchase, right? You need to make sure that there is no hiccups, right? There's nothing that can give them a sign that they may have made an emotional or wrong decision. Now, if you are able to execute this correctly, you can easily work your way up to closing 20 to 30% of the people that you talk to. And even on the low end, if you're able to execute this, you can close at 10% and still get to $10,000 per month in the next 3 months by simply doing 100 strategy sessions, closing 10% of those at $1,500 per month in 90 days. That will get you to $10,000 per month with your SMMA as a beginner with zero capital and little to no experience. Now, disclaimer, this sounds very easy, but it's not. It's simple, but it's not easy. In the words of Jim Rohn, the things that are easy to do are also easy not to do. So I want to make sure that you understand that the only thing that is important when you're a beginner isn't a website, it isn't a funnel, it isn't a CRM, it's strategy sessions. And the way that you get strategy sessions is from direct outreach. Now I'm going to say this one more time. Strategy sessions equals money. And typically, if you're looking at somebody that is ahead of you, right, it's either time or they're just doing more strategy sessions than you every single month. So the way that you can always win is doing direct outreach and generating strategy sessions. So as a beginner, in the first 90 days of 6 months, you should only be worried about 2 things, which is generating strategy sessions and doing strategy sessions. And if you do that, then you will achieve mastery in the next 90 to 180 days, where you can effortlessly execute the closer framework and close 10, 20, even 30% of clients, and ultimately get to your first 10K per month with your SMMA. And this is exactly what I did to go from 0 to 10K per month in 6 months and 29 days when I first started my business, and then grew it to 300K per month using these exact same strategies day in and day out. Those are the exact steps that you need to start as a total beginner with 0 cash and 0 experience to go from 0 to your first 10K per month with a social media marketing agency. Hope this video was valuable, as well as if you like these videos and you want more value like this, click the like button as well as smash the subscribe button, click the bell so that you can get more valuable content as I'm showing people exactly how to escape the matrix and to start their own profitable beginner-friendly business with the social media marketing agency. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video.